I'd like to welcome you and feel free to use our gym, swimming pool and sauna, and we wish you a happy stay here at Britannia, England. This is all paid for by your government and your taxpayer, and we wish you a very lovely stay from Britannia Hotels and your government. Down in the basement where I went down there. So yeah, they did do a bit of cleaning. It was fresh paint, going by what I can see at the time. You can see by the second half of the video. That's the first time. This time was like the last time I went on the first section, and it's pretty tidy. If you look a bit further on the video, you see a stark difference in the exact same area in the basement. I stayed on the first floor on the second one, but I went down in the basement to investigate because Walter and Tim went down there at the time. But the room where I stayed in the second time, it had fresh paint, it had freshly been refurbed. So yeah, there was something afoot when I went there, and I could sense it, but I didn't say it. I don't know if I did say it in my original video, but you could say, if you look at the video now, you can see it has been freshly refurbed. So there's something going on behind the scenes which no one else even knew, not even the staff. But you know, that's Britannia Hotels for you. They do this sort of stuff all the time, letting their hotels out to immigration. This is known as the Immigration King. I'd like to welcome you and feel free to use our gym, swimming pool and sauna, and we wish you a happy stay here at Britannia, England. This is all paid for by your government and your taxpayer, and we wish you a very lovely stay from Britannia Hotels and your government. Swimming pool, chandeliers. They wouldn't want to put them in a place like Pontins. Pontins would be a no-go zone for them because they have to live in luxury. They come over on their boats or underneath lorries, whatever way they get, or in the backs of lorries, to be given a concentration camp like Pontins. They're not going to want that. They want to live in proper luxury, to have saunas, swimming pool, gym, you name it. Oh yeah, and 3 meals a day as well. How about that? Free food and 70 quid a day, going by what I've heard on the internet, guys. I'd like to welcome you and feel free to use our gym, swimming pool and sauna, and we wish you a happy stay here at Britannia, England. This is all paid for. I'd like to welcome you and feel free to use our gym, swimming pool and sauna, and we wish you a happy stay here at Britannia, England. This is all paid for by your government and your taxpayer, and we wish you a very lovely stay from Britannia Hotels and your government. Or thereabouts 5 weeks before it closed, and there's my room 28 I was in. That's the room I was in, number 28. But yeah, just a month before the asylum seekers took over the International Hotel, I stayed there. Now at the time I remember thinking, and I said in the video I think, that they'd done a lot of work in the basement area. When Walker and Tim went there was mice traps and stuff like that when I went there the time before. I'm looking for a clip now, if I can find it. I'll add it to this. There was mouse traps, you name it, all over the place. There's mould. When I went there this time, I noticed a big clean up, and I think I mentioned at the time the room was tidy. I didn't have no complaints about it. So there was something going on then. Yes, there was this bit missing off the lift, you know, a bit of damage there, a bit of mould I found, but the government will pay for that to be fixed. All the lifts will be working properly for the asylum seekers, and the workers who go there. So they would have a life of luxury. I mean, there's a bit of a panel missing on the ceiling there, but you know, a hatchet for maintenance, I suppose. A bit of rot there, as you see there, but they're going to have everything given to them for free. And there's homeless people on the streets. Okay, the hotel weren't the best, but they have done a lot of work. I noticed that when I went there. The place was spotless. I mean, the staff was friendly, unlike the place I went to today, so the next video. But I'm using this footage just to give my thoughts on the subject. I haven't been to the protest, and I don't intend on going to the protest. It's a shame they closed it down, really, but that's the government for you. Move people in people don't really want around. We don't get a choice, even though we vote them in. They say this happens, it happens. And Britannia hotels are the ones to allow this to happen too, because the boss of Britannia hotels, who owns Pontins too, literally earns thousands. So that's neither here or there though, is it? Hello guys, this is the International Hotel London. I went there in July just gone, or June just gone, but I went there before. This is the footage from when I went there before. You can see they was doing some work and it's a bit grotty, so a stark contrast to what it was when I went there last time. I mean, you can see they've been doing work at the place. This is the first time I went, not to get confused. So yeah, so they did a lot of work in the place, so I could sense just by looking at old footage, what I'm looking at now, there was a lot of work done. Also, it gives you a chance to have a little look around the hotel, so you see the actual basement area and the window area where I went before. You see the wacky mirrors there all over the place, and the furniture they got there. They probably changed all that now. It's gone over to immigration. The place weren't the best, but it doesn't mean that the immigrants are entitled to live there on taxpayers' money. I'm not against immigration. I'm just saying the way people see it, if you know what I mean. But the hotel itself wasn't that bad the second time I went there. I could see they'd done a lot of work, and there's a reason behind that. And I was thinking about that when I was looking at the old footage, but I thought, hang about. I got the old footage, I had a little look through it and see what changed in the 6 months since I went there the first time. And this is the first time I went there, and you could see there's a big, massive difference. I mean, the difference is so apparent, it's unbelievable. Walking Me Tim went there before. If you look at his video, he found mouse traps and all that sort of stuff there. So a big difference between the two different times. I mean, times don't change that much, but they did have wacky furniture around the place though, and I do feel sorry for the staff who lost all their jobs, but Britannia are known for doing that. If you look at Pakefield, I was speaking to the people there before that closed down, and they told me exactly the same thing. They found out they lost their jobs for the newspapers, or about to lose their jobs for the newspapers. Britannia hotels didn't bother telling them that their jobs were going because they had nuclear power plant workers moving in there. But that's a different story, that one is. But this one is all over the news, so I thought I'd go test the room as I was in before. So I thought I'd have a look through my old footage to see what I had, which I filmed it from there recently or previously, and go through it all just to see what the two differences. The first one is the first half is when I went there recently there's a wacky mirror there, recently on June the 2nd I went there and I paid £57. The first time I went there I think I paid about £80 or £90. I think. I can't remember exactly how much I paid, but it's about £80 or £90 I paid the first time I went there, but that was with breakfast, and their breakfast weren't exactly good. So the second time I went there, I gave it a miss. But this time, well, the first time I went there, I had a good nose run. You can see the big, if you look through both scenes on both of the footages, you'll see there's a big massive difference between the two different times when I went there. And you can see it's exactly the same place in the same area that I'm looking around. And the first time I went in a door which was a service hatch running around the side of the building, and that should have been locked, in all fairness. But you can see it's the same area where I stayed the second time. I'm looking around the basement. You see the wacky mirrors. I can't remember if I see those the second time when I went there, but it's exactly the same area. But whether you're for migration or not, I think the government were in the wrong for taking over this hotel for migration. What are immigration centres for? Or put them in old factories or places like that they should, or places where people don't want to be, even, you know what I mean, like old council estates, derelict buildings, something like that. Do up the derelict buildings for them to stay in. But paying for them to stay in hotels? No, I don't really agree with that. But as you can see, this is the same area where I stayed. If you look for it or go through it carefully, if anyone wants to copy this footage and use it for anything, take my voice off obviously and use it, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to argue if anyone wants to use clips of it for their own purposes. If they see anything within this stuff they want to use, feel free to help yourself to it. I've got no qualms about you doing that. Just take it and help you. Just take it, cut it to bits off you want, and put your voice over like I've done from the first time I went. You don't hear the same thing. This video is actually on my channel. If you look at the original one, look at that wacky mirror. But you can see where they would have been doing work the first time I went there. So a lot of work had been done in the place. I woke up Sunday to a load of people on the thing saying, so I tried to book the hotel on Friday, that was it, and it kept coming up with a message saying this hotel ain't available for the time when you booked. So I just thought they ran out of rooms or something, or they're fully booked. So I thought I'd leave it because I wanted to go back there for Christmas. I was going to book a room to see if anything had changed. But then I see it on social media that look at the nice chandeliers though. Look at the chandeliers. Hang on, just pause that there. So they stay in an international hotel, get a nice building to live in. Beautiful place, kind of. But look at that chandelier. Look. See, they're going to get all the chandeliers and stuff like that. They should tear those things down and, you know, and not give them sort of that sort of luxury. But that's what they're getting: chandeliers, champagne, swimming pool, sauna, stuff like that. But at least this way, if anyone hasn't gone to International Hotel, look through the videos on YouTube and you'll get to see your way around the place without physically going in there. I don't think they can stop anyone from doing that anyway. Well, going in there they could, but doing this, what I've done, where I filmed myself walking around the place twice, so you get to see it without actually going there yourselves. I think I've done a good thing by doing that, actually, but to be honest. You get to see what the place was like. The last time I went there was the first bit of video you saw, and this time is the first time I went, so down the other way around, so you get to see the contrast between the two different videos. Well, this is the first room that I stayed in. I'll just pause that here and I'll see when I talk to you about that room. So this is footage previously filmed. As you can see, the place weren't that brilliant, but they were doing work in the place for these people to move in. The last time I went there, you can see the difference between the two, different contrast between both, or the contrast between the two, sorry. Saying that, even then the rooms weren't that bad. You get free Britannia soap, which I always took back home with me. Saves me buying a little bit, lasts me what, 1 or 2 washes maybe. But yeah, they get all the luxuries of that now. But the breakfast, they're cooking, I feel sorry for them because they'll probably get better chefs actually, but the food wasn't the best. So that says something about the place. Prime location in London, and they get to live there for free. How about they? Not many people get that much luck, do they? But they do. Talking about the food, have a look at that. See, it looked disgusting. Yeah, so yeah, the food isn't that great, so I feel sorry for them. But they'll probably have better chefs, wouldn't they? They're more than welcome to the yucky food. So yeah, they can have that if they want. I don't want it no more. So yeah. So that was my brief virtual tour, kind of virtual tour of the International Hotel in London, where the immigrants live for now on, for however many years the government choose to give them free rooms in that place. They'll probably do the place up anyway, but still, they still got a free room on us, so good luck to them.